So it turns out that extinction is really, really difficult. So if you've been struggling against this new challenge in Project Zomboid, I am here to help. In this video, I'll start off a brand new playthrough, taking the time to talk through my priorities and my thought process in real time, with the goal of guiding you through surviving your very first day. This video will be part of a series filled with helpful advice, taking you through the first week of survival, all the way up to the dreaded helicopter event. So sit back, try your best to relax under the circumstances, and this is how to survive day 1 of extinction. Okay, so first things first, I need to select a spawn location. Now, if I was to give advice for anybody trying extinction for the first time, I feel as though I would pick Rosewood. Rosewood is known to be one of the easiest spawn locations. There's a good number of sort of buildings that are good safe houses around the outskirts, but I also played Rosewood in my last series like this. So today I'm going to try something different and I'm going to go for West Point, and hopefully we will be able to prove that it's possible. Now, I've already picked out a loadout. I have chosen to go with DIY Expert. Still getting some changes at the moment in these updates, but the main thing that I'm interested in is it's got +2 in maintenance, which is going to mean that our weapons last longer. And that's going to be important because we're going to be hitting zombies for longer because their toughness is improved. So that's my logic behind that decision. You can choose whatever you want. They're all viable. I've also gone for fitness because we're going to be using more of our character's stamina dealing with these tougher zombies. I've gone with brave and I've gone with dexterous, and we get inventive, which lowers the auto learn requirements for certain recipes, which I believe crucially includes the ability to start generators. Instead of being at level 3, it's at level 2. Moving forward, we'll pick our character and we'll drop in. Biggest thing we have to keep in mind here, this is a very big thing indeed, is that in extinction, zombies can spawn closer to our spawn building, and the number of houses fitted with alarms is increased in this mode, and zombies will be able to set them off. So the start of this playthrough is going to be the most difficult part. There is no guarantee that you will survive. You may need a couple of attempts at it. Honestly, that's pretty normal. You will need multiple attempts at extinction mode. Do not let that put you off. Biggest thing that we're going to be looking to do is head towards the edge of town as soon as possible. We'll close the survival guide. Things are already getting pretty wild. This is a terrible spawn for me. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead. That's that. So just like that, that should give you a good example of how easy it is to actually lose your character in extinction. Just like that. With the doors and windows jammed, we've got 3 sprinters there. There's not much we can really do, so we're going to go again. That is just how it be sometimes. West Point. We'll go with our DIY. MrAtomicDuck. Attempt number 2. But we're in a very busy location indeed here. Okay, so there's the first house alarm. Now, I'm going to pause for a moment. The first house alarm likely will go off within seconds of your playthrough like this. It's because zombies are setting them off. What this can do is it can actually work to your advantage, because if you manage to stay out of their line of sight, it's going to drag them away from you. However, it's very difficult to do in practice. So I'm going to attempt... No chance. Okay, we've got a few on us already. So I sort of need to slip out while I can. My primary goal is to lose these zombies as quickly as possible. And we're dead again. So we've got Sprinter in the trees. That's attempt number 2 done. It do just be like that. This do just be extinction. There is nothing sometimes that you can do in those situations, and you've just got to run it back. The start of extinction is the most difficult part, and you will need to run it many times potentially. I would say if we can't do the 3rd attempt successfully, what I'll do instead is I will pick Rosewood as a spawn, because Rosewood tends to be a little bit easier. Oh good, the TV's on already. That's not great for me. Going for a bit of a different strategy this time. I'm going to use the walk to button to sort of try and get through these trees without hitting them. If you didn't know, you can use the walk to command and it will actually path the best path to where you're going without hitting trees. Now, the biggest difference with the zombies, and this is obviously, as you've already noticed, there are sprinters. They are tougher, so they're going to take more hits. They are stronger, which means they can pull you down a lot easier and break barricades a lot easier. But also they have longer memory, which means they will remember my location for longer and be able to follow me. You can see the difference in this start compared to the ones we just had. So I suppose the biggest thing to remember in this playthrough, as we've demonstrated, is just don't give up after the first attempt. It really does just sometimes take more than one try. I'm going to equip a stone just so that we have a weapon. Now, I think we're actually not in a terrible location here. Yeah, we're on the sort of the beach side here by Short Street. This is not terrible. If we head further west, I think we will be on the outskirts of town. So our priority right now with day one on an extinction run is finding a viable safe house. You have to think about your safe house so much more in extinction than you do in apocalypse. And you can't just go clearing your way through the streets. You have to go sort of take a more rural approach, really be careful with it. And we're going to try and work our way towards like some potential safe house points. I know that there is a decent area on sort of the west side of West Point. So I'm thinking we might be able to find like a bit more of a rural house out this way. Like this one here might not be terrible. You need to keep our wits about us still. But this definitely looks a lot quieter. Haven't heard any house alarms go off yet, so I'm fully expecting that one of these alarms might go off and completely change our priorities. So you see here as well, we've got a couple windows open. Zombies in extinction can open windows and doors. Not all of them. I think it's about 10% if I remember rightly off the top of my head. But some of them can open windows and doors. Right, let's see if I set an alarm off. I cannot make this up. Honestly, this is just my reputation being cursed with alarms. This is just my reputation. We've got some rural areas to my north, so I'm going to go straight up there, avoid that house entirely. That is honestly just classic me setting off an alarm in the first building I go to. You can see how this is going to cause a big shift. A lot of zombies will start moving that direction. Now, alarms going off in extinction is a regular event and will be quite difficult to manage, but it's also a really good opportunity for you. Because what this now means is that all of these zombies moving across are coming from a different area, and that area they were in will now be clear. Oh, I see a sprinter. Right, we're going to use this fence. That's also a very big thing about extinction. Use fences to your advantage. These zombies will be tougher. Fences give you the opportunity to kill them quickly with much less effort. Still got a couple coming in. Okay, we've got a few coming in from above me as well. Right, I'm probably going to need to make a move here because that is a lot of Zeds. Most difficult part of an extinction run is always the beginning. So we're just going to keep moving. I do have high thirst, so I've got to keep an eye on that. But I'm hoping that these more rural areas up here might offer us a bit more shelter. And you can see how far that alarm pulls zombies in from as well. Now you'll notice that I'm already out of breath, which sort of reinforces why I was going for a character with more fitness. Muscle strain accumulation is also quicker on extinction, so that extra fitness is really going to help out with making sure you don't run out of breath too quickly. What I'd like to do is maybe head down to one of these houses. But for now, I'm more interested in just making sure we are actually staying alive. I'm not really thinking about much except the immediate survival of my character, whereas Apocalypse, you can kind of start to look forward pretty quickly. You can see now that muscle strain is already building up. I'm wondering if there will be a house at the end of this trail and whether I should just follow this instead. of what I was planning. There's so many zombies down here. So I think we're just going to have to keep moving. Okay. I think I know where we are. We're near the police station up this end, I think. Which means that we're going to have I think a collection of 2 or 3 houses right at the end of this street. Now, I'd like to take a quick moment just to recuperate. We also need to try and find an opportunity to get hydration. One thing that is going to make this slightly easier, though, is that the day length has been increased now across like Apocalypse and Extinction. So we're now seeing this as like an hour and a half, not just 1 hour of IRL time. Zombies are migrating big time right now. Kind of hoping that searching might bring us a couple of decent items, but we'll see. But I know there's some like rural houses right at the end of this trail, which will then just give us the chance to work back inwards towards the town. For new starters, I actually find one of the best locations. Like if you start spawned in Rosewood, one of the best locations for a safe house tends to be the rural house on the southeast corner. That place is really good. Great for extinction mode. I can't tell if these are good mushrooms or not, so we're not going to eat them. Now, if I am correct, this actually means that we've got, this is the end of the rural path that I'm talking about. So we should have a house up this street here that is pretty much on the edge of town by itself. Yes. Small blue building. Now, this might not be where I decide to make my safe house because it's not very big, but it does give me a little bit of starting ground, a little bit of a foothold, and we can work inwards from here. The only thing that will potentially ruin this is if this house is alarmed. If this house is alarmed, I'm going to struggle quite considerably. Try a different window. I want to avoid smashing the windows if I can. I cannot make this up. Genuinely. I think I can get by this. There is a barn to the south, or I can head like across the fields and there's like a farmhouse, like way out on the outskirts. Well, like I say, this could be GG's because I'm dehydrated. I maybe should have grabbed a drink from there even with the alarm. We seem okay so far. I'm very worried about our hydration, so I'm not gonna spend too long in here. I mean, this is a weapon, so we'll take it for now. Wood saw is huge. Okay, so at the very least, it seems like we might have got lucky because of how few zombies there are out in the sticks. But this is how crazy it can get. The problem tends to be all the houses with alarms in this mode can really shaft you sometimes. So there are still zombies moving past this. I think we might be able to get in there for a drink. Honestly, I'm kind of hoping that I can just get in here, grab a drink, and then move on. Okay, let's see. We might be able to make something of this. You know what? I'm just going to use the fence. The thing about these zombies is because they're so much tougher and they take so many more hits, it can just be easier to lure them to a fence. Or a window, for that matter. Grab some food and get rid of this zombie. We can grab a curtain or a backpack. We can probably drop the stone we have now as well. Don't need that anymore. Ah, now that is interesting. We've got a vehicle key. That's a good bit of luck for us there, which I think we would do after all those house alarms, honestly. Some painkillers would also be useful. The first bit of looting we really gotten to do, so I'm eager not to waste it. So the key to a vehicle is likely going to be a vehicle very close by. Is there one on the driveway? There isn't one on the driveway that I can see. Might be next door. I'm genuinely intrigued as to where that vehicle might be. Get these zombies' attention. Come over to the house. You can still see how like some of them are still migrating towards the sound of that alarm because it was just the last thing they heard. That's how dangerous alarms can be. But it's going to clear out, hopefully, a lot of areas to our east. Something to eat here. Okay, so we've survived the immediate chaos that is extinction, but there's still quite a few zombies about. take a look at my map here and see where we want to be. That's a real shame that this building is no longer a viable safe house, because that's just going to be swarming with Zeds. I do think we potentially have another option. There is a farmhouse not far away if we cut across a field. And I think with the alarms going off, it should be relatively clear. So we're going to head for that. It should be just across these fields. But you can see how much focus we're having to actually put on a safe house in this mode. And it becomes even more important later, because as these zombies start to get gathered up, when an alarm goes off, it will draw like a massive group to their location because they're running in larger packs. So finding a good safe house that's on the outskirts, that's easily defensible, is super important in Extinction. And I don't mind just spending most of a day figuring out where I'm going to settle down. Because in Apocalypse, you could just make your spawn building your safe house. In this mode, that's just not viable. So that's the farmhouse. I think that might work for us. Obviously, it all depends on how many zombies are there, but we can do some clearance work if we need to now. We have a fence to the south that we can use. Now, third time's a charm. Surely this building can't be alarmed, right? There's no chance that this one's alarmed. It's pristine. It's untouched. The doors are safe. The windows are... Oh, well, okay. It was pristine. However, I think that guarantees that there's no alarm. Alarms can be set off by zombies in Extinction. So I think that pretty much guarantees that it's not alarmed, if I'm not mistaken. Is this the best place to enter through? I don't like how many doors there are in there. Let's enter through the garage instead, if it will let us. Okay, let's unlock this just before I forget. Nice that we've got a garage in here. We've got, okay, this is going to be big. A half-mask respirator. Now, just to briefly explain why this is so beneficial. In Extinction mode, it's not just the dead zombies that give off corpse sickness and stench. The living zombies also give off corpse sickness. So respirators like this will be incredibly helpful, but just not getting sick over an extended time. Yes, it will give you discomfort, but that can be worked around. Dust mask also works a little bit if you can't find something better. The half-mask respirator is going to be big for us, especially when it comes to like clearing out corpses. Corpse sickness is a real killer in this game mode. And not just that, but in Extinction, zombies can reanimate, which means there's a chance that the zombies we kill will come back to life, which means corpse disposal around your base is incredibly important because you do not want to be jumped by a zombie that reanimates right outside your front door. We'll talk about corpse disposal probably more in another episode because there are multiple ways to go about it. But I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're going to base. We have a basement. Zombies can spawn in basements. An empty basement is not so much a bad thing in this mode. Technically, a basement is one of the safest places to be in Extinction. Now, don't jump on me because I know some people will be like, oh yeah, but there's no escape, there's no way out. Yes, but crucially, it keeps you safe from zombies that are going by when an alarm has sounded. If you're down in a basement, there's no chance they're going to see you. They're just going to wander straight by. If you're sitting in a basement, sitting still, not making noise, they will go right by. There will be nothing to make them aggro on you. The only exception to that will be if for some reason the zombie decides to attack something on the building. Say a door, a window, generates noise, and other zombies come to it. So it's not foolproof, but it will allow you to remain hidden. That basement could be useful to us. I'm going to check the rest of the building though. I think our only downside with this place is the walk into town from here. It's going to take a little bit of time, but that's all right. We've got a key for this residence. That's good too. I don't really think I want to wear too much protective gear in this run. I feel like protective gear is less important when there's a solid chance that a zombie is just going to drag you down as soon as it reaches you, like they can in Extinction. So not too worried about that. More worried about just keeping, remaining quick, remaining nimble. So we're not going to slow ourselves down with that. Okay, but this all looks good. This all looks good. Now, one thing we want to think about is curtains for these upstairs windows. I'm noticing that they don't seem to have any. So we're going to need to get some curtains for this place. We're going to need to barricade that downstairs window. Thankfully, I believe we found some nails and planks in the basement so I can get that window barricaded pretty quickly. It's just one plank. It's not really going to keep them at bay very long, especially in Extinction. They can destroy crafted barricades like that incredibly quickly in Extinction, but it's better than having an open window. Let's get this barricaded. So, after what was a rough start, we've managed to find our feet. And I want to, again, just reiterate that this is how Extinction can go. It may take more than one attempt. It may take multiple attempts. Do not give up. It is possible. It requires a healthy dose of luck, but it is possible. You just need a decent start. After you get a decent start, things are much, much easier. Now, we did find a car key. So I am eager to see if we can track down the vehicle. Masterson Horizon. That was up here on Oak Street. That said though, vehicles in Extinction mode are not as powerful as they are in Apocalypse. Especially in your local area. You can't just really go driving up to somewhere expecting, you know, to be fine. You're going to attract so many zombies. We've got a zombie there. There's always a chance that there's an alarm on this building. I'm hoping that there isn't, because there could be some really good supplies in here that we need later. Okay, I'm going to have to break a window. Now, let's see. Has that attracted any attention? No, we're looking pretty good. Ooh, lots of steel sheets. Iron bars and iron pipes make for good weapons, so we'll grab those. Got a propane tank if we need one later. Electrical one. Okay, that is a really, really good find. And a rubber hose. Rubber hose will allow us to, it's one part of siphoning gas from a vehicle. We need a gas can, obviously. Leather gloves, that's good. Some medium handles will allow us to replace the handles on tools that we use up. Some more planks there, which will also be good for barricading our base a little bit. The electrical book, the key thing there is that we need electrical 3 ordinarily, but because we have inventive, I believe we only need electrical 2 to run a generator. Could be wrong, but we'll see. Now, that book is going to allow me to learn level 1 and 2 much faster. So we might actually be able to get a generator going sooner than we think. Okay, let's get back to our little base here and do some immediate barricading. Really, if we can find an axe, that's the tool we want right now. Our biggest thing that we're after is an axe currently, because we want to start barricading these windows. We need more wood, but we'll use the planks we get at the very least. Now, for anybody that needs a quick reminder on barricading. Anything less than 2 barricades, or sorry, anything 2 barricades or less will allow us to see through the window, which is what I want. I want to be able to see through the window. So we're going to put 2 barricades on this one. Focusing on this window a little bit more because this one points towards sort of the more built up areas of the town. So I'm aware that this side might get a little bit more attention. Certainly could have been worse, this safe house. Now we're at 6 p.m. It's not going to be long, I think, before my character starts getting tired because it's been a pretty exerting day. Just want to keep trying to sort of loot my local area. I don't know what's down the street to my right. I think there's some houses. Yeah, I think it's like a built up area to our right. So maybe let's head that way. And even if we don't loot it, I think it's important for us to survey our surroundings in this kind of situation. So we want to just sort of make sure that there's not like a huge amount of zombies there. Yeah, so I can see one already. I'm guessing there's probably going to be a few zombies in this area. Sounds like one might be stuck on the fence itself. And zombies will do that in Extinction, unlike in Apocalypse. They will actually just, they don't have to be aggroed on a player to start damaging constructed objects. Quite a few zombies here, yeah. But we can start clearing them out, maybe. Let's start clearing through them because we do want to access some of these buildings. So I'm thinking we do just start pulling them a couple at a time if we can. Let's see what we can do here. Lots of cars down here. In fact, we might even have a key to one of these. We'll see. Whoop. Hello. You can see how, with how many hits the zombie takes, you can see how you can end up working through your fatigue. Oh, that's not good. And what I want to do is get to this fence. Just quick check that we're okay here. Yep. Want that, really? It's not great for us, I'm not gonna lie. But what I'd like to do is just draw this one up a bit more so that I can sort of get him on his own. Now, we've gone through quite a lot of fatigue doing that. We're okay for now. We can set up painkillers, make this a bit easier on ourselves. Have a quick snack. Go for the drink. But you can see how in this mode, even one sprinter can be very, very challenging indeed. All it takes is them coming at you from the wrong angle or while you're fighting somebody else. And again, I think that sort of shows how beneficial fences are too. Of course, you do have to watch out for too many zombies coming over a fence at the same time, like you did while we were killing that sprinter there. They're already back to high exertion. What the hell happened there? Really? Some of the targeting issues around like zombies that are on the ground, zombies coming over fences really do frustrate me in this game sometimes. It's one of those issues that like I still find that I'm frustrated by even after like 2,000 hours of playtime. These two are going to be a real pain to kill now too because they're crawling around together. I'm exhausted. It's going to make dealing with them really tricky because they're just sticking together. So let's try and take a moment just to rest. Well, we are getting to the end of the day. This isn't exactly how I was hoping to wrap up the day, but clearance is important because we're going to want to get to those buildings. Would honestly really like to deal with these guys before we sleep, but I'm sort of wondering if it's even going to be possible, to be honest. With the pain that our character's in and the muscle strain, like my attack speed is going to be very slow. These two are stuck to each other like glue. This is genuinely one of the most frustrating and silliest issues I've ever had in Project Zomboid. Because these two crawlers, I'm not going to be able to land a hit without the other one hitting me, and they will constantly go the same speed. I can't even use the fence because they will just attack us through the fence. That tends to happen. They've got slightly further apart here. Let me see if I can. So you can see that they're still reaching me. I think we've just got them on the edge of their zone here. Okay, yeah, we got them right on the edge of their targeting, so they couldn't grab me there. So now we definitely need to sleep. So we know that these buildings do have zombies, but we at least know that it's passable. We might be able to get in there, but we're going to need to clear that out over the coming days. Okay. Not the best outing, but the fact that we've honestly found a base that works is going to be a godsend for us, I feel. So we've got something to work with. We've got a base, got to keep our sleep schedule intact so that we can keep going. The biggest thing now is finding immediate provisions to keep us alive, to keep us going through the next couple of days. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is by getting into some nearby buildings. So we'll tidy ourselves up, we'll get something to eat here, and then I think it's off to sleep for our character. If you're wondering why I'm keeping myself clean as well here, why I'm bothering with this, obviously with a wound, there is a chance that it becomes infected. The best way to prevent that is to remain clean. We want to keep the wound clean, we want to keep ourselves clean, keep the bandages clean, and it's also important to note that as of a recent update, infections will damage your HP in this mode. So keeping wound infections at bay are important. Okay, I just want to make sure that he washes the pants and the gloves, and then we're good to go. The weapon doesn't so much matter. Okay. With a big chunk taken out on my shoulder, let's get something to eat. We're going to take something with a good amount of calories. Now, that's another genuine concern that we have to worry about in this mode is your weight. Because if your weight gets to 75, I think it's actually just under 75, you will become low weight, and that will affect your stats. We do not want to be dealing with like decreased amounts of endurance or fatigue. So calories are more important than ever. And unfortunately, with the amount of hits that zombies take and some of the other stuff included in Extinction, you will lose more calories as well, just going about your day-to-day business. Makes it very, very difficult to keep the weight on in this mode. Right, here we go. And fingers crossed, we'll survive the night. We're going to set ourselves an alarm for, I think, what, 5:50? We're going to grab a drink before we sleep as well. We'll just fill this pop can as well. It's not going to hold much water, but it's better than nothing right now. Okay. Oh, we're in too much pain to sleep. Let's take some painkillers. That should kill that problem, hopefully. I think we can rest a little bit, maybe deal with our fatigue. Then we just got to keep an eye on the sleeping. We really did very much exert ourselves doing that. Okay, here we go. Got sleep. Let's do it. Fingers crossed. Hi there, folks. Just a quick reminder, this is only day 1 of this series, and that day 2 will be available to watch just a couple of days after this video goes live. Make sure you're subscribed and check out the new playlist on the channel's homepage to continue watching. I'll see you all in the next one.